Good morning, Frontiers. This is MS Live, and I am your host. Let me turn on. Let's see. Bring in. Good morning. Now I just brought in Facebook. Good morning, Facebook. This is MS Live, and I'm your host, Dulci Hill. So I'm going to give you a couple minutes to let's see, to join in. So meanwhile, I'm going to share. I just saw that I can share to a group. So I'm going to share to a group and see if I can bring in more people to join us all. I share to a group. I said that. You guys well, let me see. Come on. I just, you know what? I might not be able to share. Oh, I can. All right, let me share. Okay. I'm severely right handed, so I've got to take off my broken hand brace and let me quick share. Oh, let's see. Oh, I blew it. I blew it. All right. That is about as good as I can get. Hi, Judith, Judy, sweet Judy Blue Eyes there, and I love her. And then Sherry, remember I'm on YouTube also, and we're going to begin our chat support there. Hi, Sean. I haven't heard anything from the pelvic floor rehab people, so I want to talk a little bit about that today. I think it's critical. Sean is a big time volunteer with MS here in Maryland, and I've known Sean for years, and he's a blessing. And what he emailed me that he took the money he got from the stimulus package, and he used. All right, let me try to get this. He used it to go to clinicians that would help him rehab in a way that would benefit his disability. And specifically, he went to a place in Perry Hall or Perryville. Correct me, Sean. Just jump in here when I go astray here. Uh, that trains you to get more in touch in touch with your pelvic floor, and that's big as far as incontinence is concerned. So as soon as they get in touch with me, I'm going to figure out how to bring them on YouTube or Facebook, or figure out so they can teach us something. You're all right, Sherry. Sherry jumped from, yeah, or maybe you're on both. Anyway, I love seeing you. Sherry's got her own YouTube channel for people who have. Thank you. I didn't. All right. Thank you for who that is. So if when all right, real quick, Sherry's got her own YouTube channel for people who are confined to a wheelchair, electric wheelchair. She's also a spine injury survivor. So, and I know specifically a number of you have that. So, subscribe to her YouTube channel if you want advice on how to live well with live well with yeah, you know what, live well with MS in a confined situation. Also, Sherry, you can't see the chat, but the chat is actually on the bottom. It's like bubble windows that people chat. Sean, if you have a chance, jump over to YouTube, go to Dulci Hill, subscribe to that channel, but you will see that we are live there, and people can see a scrolling chat. So everybody chats to each other. Hi, Patsy. She's with us too. All right, now, and Nadine's here. And El Prito, I know who you are, El Prito. You haven't been here for a while there. That's Jesus. Aren't you Jesus? Jesus is here. I've been, yeah. Well, I'm glad you're here with us. There, I love that you guys are here. Today, also, I want to talk a little bit. All right, the pelvic floor specialist. There's things we can do with MS, and we have it for a very long time, especially secondary progressive MS, when we're dealing with additional disabilities that we can actually overcome there. Diana and Daniel, yeah, hi guys there. Oh, and Jesus just got done saying that I was correct because I wrote your name down and I know the kind of MS you have, and I have prayed for you, and I'm so glad you're here. There's all right. So today's episode, what are we going to talk about? The resources that are there for us. Myra, you know what? I have you. I did not know your screen name, MJL. All right, I'm writing that down. Myra is MJL 3093. 3093. Okay, and Myra is with us from Ohio. Welcome, Myra. It's so great to see you. And Sean, you're with us. You know what? I love it. Sean jumped from from Facebook over to YouTube, and you can see, Sean, how this really is much more productive as far as a chat. That's here, and you can see that this is MS Live, and it's more MS Live and less about me. You can see that on YouTube, but you can't see that on Facebook. On Facebook, you're paying more attention to what I'm saying, and on YouTube, you guys like me. Woohoo! Yeah, you guys know I'm just creating a area where we all can chat and support each other. And I am, the chicken out in the yard that you guys happen to watch, the shiny thing there every once in a while, but you pay more attention to yourself. Sean, this is I am so grateful you're here. Sean has a lot that he can teach us there. And I've learned a lot from Sean. So he specifically has brought up pelvic floor therapy that is available to us there. And hi, Mace. Mace, if you can jump over to YouTube, you'll see, you'll get the support. You'll have more of a support there. Tim's here. Tim D is here, and I'm thrilled there. We need Tim Rich here. Tim, I haven't seen Bonnie in a long time, or Troy, but and Shaq, Shaquille, you'll be here there, and Jane, you will join us. Now remember, Jane is in Coeur d'Alene there, so she joins us a little later there. But I'm looking at the people who you guys are regulars. And Gina, I'm waiting for Gina. Anyway, so jump over, Mace, if you can jump over. One thing I need to say that. Today I want to talk a little bit about the MS Society. You can, all right, no, let me think. No, you can. I'm answering a question from Mace. He's asking me if a subscription is required. That is really, I don't know. Does anybody in YouTube here know? Do you have to have a subscription in order to watch these videos there? This is somebody on Facebook said that. And Diana asked a question: what do they do with pelvic floor training? And Sean, that's directed towards you there. And so I'm going to read what Sean answers there, because I don't know. I've never had pelvic floor training. All right, so I want to talk a little bit about MS Society, who gets a bad rap, and used to get a bad rap from me before I went to work for them. And I haven't worked for them for probably, what do you think, Sean? 6 years it's been, or and it's hard to believe I've known you that long. But I used to run the support group and I'll tell you what, I know you guys with MS. You uh, uh, you don't like to commit. We don't like to commit, I should say. We don't like to commit to be in any place at any time, because I also did a Hartford County MS social where we'd have lunch once a month, and you guys didn't show. You confirmed that you'd be there, and sometimes you show and sometimes you didn't, and that's okay. Uh, and that is okay there. All right, Mace, to answer your question there, Myra answered it. I think you do have to create a YouTube account. It can be generic like mine. And she does not make videos. She just watches there. So you can make a very generic. Mace, create an account, make it very generic. This is what Myra. Thank you for answering that question. All right. Thank you for so Mace, you can do that. You can do a generic. Anybody watching on Facebook can do a generic account and jump on YouTube and chat. It's a very lively chat, and again, if you are on this chat and you want to give me your name, age, where you live, the type of MS you have, there, I'll put you on the prayer list on the regulars. You guys are my regulars. Then you. Oh my gosh! Can you believe how hubris that sounded? My regulars. You're not my regulars. You are. Yeah. Let me see. You are MS Live regulars, right? Right. You know what, Myra is awesome. She says everyone here is special. She doesn't chat. She doesn't chat with anybody. She's saying she doesn't chat with anybody. Now let's get back to the MS Society. MS Society has resources that are incredible. We tend to think early on that they are no more than a information machine. If you want a pamphlet on what it's like to have MS, you can get it and hand it to people who don't know what MS is. But if you have MS and they hand you a pamphlet to tell you what MS is, you want to feed it to them. And that is just not what we want. They will have events that we can go when we're newly diagnosed, and they'll have free yoga and free information. You can go places and get a free lunch, and they'll talk. Experts will talk about managing symptoms. But after you have it, as long as a lot of us have, we don't want that. We don't want that. We don't, experts. I know each one of you is more of an expert at dealing with symptoms than people who don't have MS. So if I've got numb feet, if I've got paresthesia, or paresthesia, the numbing of the skin that hurts to touch, I am more likely to get a good solution for that symptom. Karen's here. Karen's with us. God bless you, Karen. Thank you for joining us there. All right, so I'm more likely to get a solution than I am from the neurologist. What is the neurologist? Last time I went to the neurologist, I had pain. What do they want to put me on? Gabapentin, Neurontin. You guys know. But doctors are trained that way, to comfort us with medication. How can they help us there? And they're not wrong. So disclaimer time, I am not a doctor. Anything I say is not to be used in place of your doctor. Anything that is said in chat to each other, again, is not to take the place of your doctor. So Sean's talking about pelvic floor, and I'm going to tell you, he's telling us a little bit about this therapy. He's telling us about that. But if you want the pelvic floor physical therapy, you make darn sure you go to your neurologist and you talk to your neurologist and let them know that you want to get this done. And tell them where you want to go. It's so critical that learn from my mistakes. I've made them. I've had MS for 34 years, and I tend to I tend to treat myself. I'm trying to. I take more medicine than I should. I get yelled at. I would not want me as a patient. Hi, Gail. Gail knows me well there, and I'm a bit of a spark plug. I know. Life's humbled me. All right, so what is MS Society? What can they offer you? I have a video that is on this YouTube that talks about resources. And I'd like anybody to go there, and it specifically talks about the resources for people with MS. Now, granted, the MS Foundation and the MS Association is better at providing people with MS the stuff they need than the MS Society. But the MS Society can contribute to, say, if you get a scooter, right? That our insurance doesn't carry or doesn't pay for scooter lifts there, and they will work. The MS Society will give you a navigator, so you can call and request a navigator, and a navigator, MS Navigator, is there specifically to make things happen, get things paid for, get things. So if you have a question about getting things paid for or anything, go to an MS Navigator. Ask your neurologist, go to MS Navigator. One of the things they're talking about in this issue of Momentum, MS Society sends out a magazine. So does the MS Foundation, which I love the MS Foundation. They don't love me so much, but that's all right. I love them anyway. Anyway. But they've done a lot as far as taking the Dulci out of these videos and making it more generic. So I appreciate that. Now, what do they talk about? They talk about hiring a coach, a wellness coach. And I'm going to talk a little bit about wellness coaching in a minute after I'm done reading to you what does a pelvic floor therapy do. And Sean responded, it constipation, it addresses constipation, pelvic pain, sexual dysfunction. Let's see. And many of us has varied symptoms caused by abdominal surgery or as simple as a person's posture. And that's huge. So they assess what your problem and possible, and they find possible reasons why you're having the problem, and they work on that. That's huge. With those of you who live in Maryland, there, if you go on Dudley PT, He's got a Facebook page. We can get some research on that. Uh, get some information on that, and that's huge there. Wellness coaching. What is wellness coaching? All right, and I'm able to do this. I know, Gail, you do this, and we do this by nature. There's a lot of us without MS that do this, and I. This is my ministry. I believe that God has me doing this, and I give it away. I do this wellness coaching, and I think part of my graduate education was in career and vocational counseling, and it got me. Tim, you're here. Tim Riches. Did I tell you all we're missing? We had Tim Donaldson, but I'm waiting for Tim Riches, and Tim, you showed up. Tim, I realized that you are in New England. And I thought I missed the new. I thought you were in England there. Tim, okay. And it's bizarre, Tim, because I was just giving credit to God as the reason why I do this, and you show up. No, no, not to scare you away, Jim, but you gotta laugh. Tim, Norwich. You live in Norwich, UK. All right, there's another Tim. You know what? It's not another Tim. It's Jimmy. Jimmy live. I'm sorry. I forgive me. Okay. What does a wellness coach do? Cynthia's here. Hi, Cynthia. And Cynthia's from Michigan, so it's so wonderful. Hi, Donna. Anyway, Donna's another encourager, right? Because we pray that the Lord makes us instrument of His peace, and we live accordingly, right? What does a wellness coach do? And what have I been trained to do that I give away for free there? It helps you set goals. That's what a wellness coach does. And you guys would remember, and in many of my videos, you will see that I talk often about boundaries, right? And this is something that Donna, and Gail, they're the boundaries. We have 3 boundaries: to protect ourselves from other people, to protect other people from us, because we are hurting people. And I know when my energy is low and I am attention deficit, my husband asks a question, I have this look on my face, like, just leave me alone. We are hurting people. We like to hurt other people when we're hurting, when we're tired, when we're hungry, angry, lonely, and tired. So those of you 12-step people, you'll understand there. And the third boundary is not letting ourselves get away with anything. Our bodies like to act like we're children. During this COVID stuff, I allowed myself to eat like a child. There, I ate, and every once in a while I'm sneaking back. All right. So a wellness coach helps you set goals there. And my goal is not to eat like a child. That is, I need that boundary. I'm failing miserably at that boundary. But you know what? I'm a sugar addict, and it's good. It's easy when you step back there. Tim, you're getting the love, and both Tims. I love the Tims. All right, so you've set your goals. Set your goal and create a boundary to achieve your goal. Now, a typical wellness coach holds you accountable to that boundary, but if you have MS there, we have got to, we have no choice but to be true to the boundary. there. Because of MS, I became an athlete. The more I started losing my ability to do things, to physical abilities, the more direct I got about being physical. They're lifting weights. Hi, Gary. I went to high school with Gary there. Definitely share this if you know anybody with the MS. But again, I'm here to motivate you there. So accountable, hold you accountable. Well, you don't. If you have MS, you don't need me to hold you accountable. Tim, chocolate is my weakness. There, my husband keeps buying M&Ms, and he puts it there, and they're gone every day. And someday he will leave M&Ms out of the house, and maybe I will help, or I will abide by that boundary there. So what happens? You set goals. You hold yourself accountable to goals there. M&Ms, and Myra talks about M&Ms being her vitamin M. Eggs, and Tim also has a weakness with chocolate. Aren't we all? We all have that weak. Chocolate is more addicting, I think, than anything in the world. There, Sean is volunteering. Sean Duffy, look him up on Facebook. Also, there, Sean is volunteering to answer any questions about pelvic floor rehab or therapy there. Okay. What else does a wellness coach do? It focuses on the present, and we know that. Any of you 12 steppers know that. You can't change the past, and you don't know what tomorrow's going to hold. So we have a saying, just for today. So focus on the present. Look, and you need to do this with the MS. You look at where your feet are. You look at how you're feeling. Whether we talked about Ritalin, we talked about Provigil, we talked about these things on Tuesday, and it's Thursday. We talked about these things because at some point you have to look at how you're feeling in this exact moment, and take medication accordingly. With MS, with these energy medications, the problem is that we have to, when we're looking at how we feel. Say, I need to be up and really focused in order to do these MS Live things. So sitting here, I'm thinking, all right, I'm in pain. Should I take an Nucinta? Should I take a Ritalin? Should I take that? And I might be okay for the next hour, but the problem is that now I'm thinking that I told my mother and my sister-in-law I'd go with them to Boscov's down in White Marsh, and I have to maintain my energy for that. And then, hold on to your hat, I am going to get my hair done, my hair cut, different colors, put my hair, first time in 4 months. I'm so excited. So I have to be up. I have to be awake. I can't fall asleep. I need to do that. Now, what happens when I talk about being in the moment? If we take medication to battle how we feel in that moment, unfortunately, we have to take in consideration how long we have to be in the future. How long? How is it going to affect us? Problem with Provigil, Nuvigil, and Ritalin is that when it wears off, you drop. You don't feel good. You're exhausted. You need a nap. So I haven't taken anything. So this is me alive on no drugs. On Tuesday it was on. Let me see. Ducita for the pain. But I didn't take anything. So again, a wellness coach would say, "Are you willing to garbage your afternoon to feel good right now?" These are questions we have to answer. We have set goals. I am willing to be a little low on energy and difficulty, feeling a little bit of pain, so that I can remain a little level throughout the day. There on Tuesday, I had nothing going on in the afternoon, so I took a mild painkiller while I was there. Was not feeling pain. I was able to deliver, but I crashed in the afternoon. I really, really crashed. All right, so we focus. Let's see, we set goals, we are accountable, and we focus on the present. And we do that right now, and slowly, after we get good at that, we start looking at the what is it, the payoff. The payoff, uh, the payoff. I have in my mind what I mean, but it's not going to help you guys there. By the way, I everybody on Facebook, I got to throw you under the bus there, because YouTube doesn't know that, but on Facebook, I was wearing a white skirt. That's a shorts with the skirt over it on Tuesday, and I sat there and I talked. I talked a little bit about. I talked. I was online there, and the entire thing was going down. The entire camera was going down, and it was going. It looked like it was going up my skirt, right up the skirt. And but what you guys didn't know on Facebook is that the camera was looking at my shorts. That was not my underwear. So I watched a little bit on the YouTube, so you guys can laugh. You guys, if you're able to get on YouTube, watch Tuesdays, and you'll laugh like crazy. It's because it looks like I'm Sharon Stone and everybody. I'm giving them a picture of my crotch with underwear, and but it wasn't. It wasn't. I was wearing it's shorts. It's shorts, tennis shorts, with a skirt over this. So I got to yell at all of you Facebook people for not saying, "Hey, Dust, you ought to put the camera a little higher there." But nobody. Yeah, see that, Tim? Shame on you. Shame on you for not telling me. They were not that. They were white shorts that, with a skirt over it there, and they were not my panties. He thought Tim Richards thought it was my panties. It was not. They were shorts. Yeah, I know. And I'm being accused of a flasher. But often I looked at these old videos. If the message is more important than the way I look, then I laugh. I roll my eyes. In fact, I put on the video and I showed my husband, and he looked at it and he said, "You're a scamp. You're a scamp." And I said, bet I get a lot more views on this video. Anyway, a lot of people maybe sharing, but I have to laugh. They were not. So everybody watching, if you watch the Tuesdays online Facebook there, what you're looking at, if you're looking at my pants, is a skirt. Shorts with a skirt over it. It's actually known as a tennis outfit. That is a tennis outfit I was wearing there. Yeah, well, you know what? It's funny you say that, because you can't wear anything incontinent. Well, yeah, you can. You can wear incontinent stuff with that, because, again, it's in the shorts and over. You got the skirt over that. Okay, let me go back to what does a wellness coach say? You know what? In fact, the longer you have MS, the more you get to laugh at yourself. and the more pleasure you have when you get a group of friends sitting there, yeah, laughing at you. I remember my brother-in-law in California years and years ago. He talked a little bit about, well, he drank too much and he got up and he went to the bathroom and he started staggering and he says, "Hold it, everybody. I'm walking like Dulci." And I laughed. Another, I've got a lot of funny things. In Loma Linda, I went from the kitchen down the hallway and uh, let me say, I had a towel. I'd gotten out of the shower and I fell, and we had a glass coffee table. And I was on the glass coffee table. My husband turned the corner and he saw me on the glass coffee table sitting there. And he said, "Dulcie, get your ass off the glass coffee table. He said, show some class." He's like, "You're so Jersey." And I just laughed hysterically. Again, if people who haven't had MS very long would may be sensitive about a joke about disability, but if you've had it for a long time, you know that you need to laugh. You need to laugh because MS, multiple sclerosis, is not our fault. And anybody laughing at us there, it's they recognize it's not our fault, and that we are victims of what has happened to us, and they're tuning in. I cannot go to the pool at the Bel Air Athletic Club without everybody watching me. And I didn't know that. I just didn't know. When I broke my leg, when I dove in to do my laps there, if I left my walker at the end of the deep end there, somebody, lifeguard, somebody would always grab my walker or my scooter and bring it over to the area where you climb out, where the stairs are, uh, and even the chairlift there. It just People are beautiful, and if you invite them in to help you manage MS, there they will. They'll help you put your walker into the car. And I need to tell you guys this is that a lot of times we have to allow them. It's God's way of humbling us and allowing people to feel good about themselves. When people walk by me, and I used to be afraid about putting a walker in the back of my car because they could pinch their hand. So I didn't want anybody doing that. This new walker I have, in fact, I'm not wearing my cast. I need to put my cast on. Let me put my cast on. There, the new walker I have is folds up sideways. Richard gave it to me, and it's an incredible walker, but it's very big. It looks a lot more difficult than say. Let me see. It looks a lot bulkier and larger than the old other walkers. The smaller walker does. But the fact is that people can't get hurt when they fold it up and put it away from you. So anybody walking by, hi Dennis, welcome. Dennis is with us there. About time you got here, Dennis. There, you having another cup of coffee? I'm sorry, I'm bagging on you. But anyway, people walking by my car, wherever, at the grocery store, whatever, and they look over at me and they say, often people say, "Can I put your walker in the car?" And I stand back, and even though they may be slower than me because I've got a system, I step back and thank you. Oh my gosh, thank you. You are my blessing. And they put it in the back. And these people go away and they feel good about themselves. It is our job to allow people to be our blessing. there. So humble yourself there. Now Tim Richards asks, has anybody been to Las Vegas with MS? And I have. I used to live real close. And Tim Donaldson has, and Dennis. All right. I knew it. Dennis was just talking. I was bagging on Dennis about not being here because he was having coffee there, and Dennis says, yeah, he was on his fourth cup. So I love your honesty. I love that. And Dennis, he runs MS Live, and it's a TV show that is simultaneously on Facebook and on YouTube. And Dennis, when you have a chance, if you can teach me how to bring an expert, there's an expert that Sean wants to bring it to Maryland there, and I'd like this expert to be able to talk. So if there's a way you can teach me, meanwhile, everybody who subscribed to my channel there, if you can go to MS, let's see, it's MSTV. It's MSTV on YouTube, Multiple Sclerosis TV, and subscribe to his channel. You'll have great people on there, like David Lyons. I saw that you had David Lyons, and David Lyons is another leader in MS there. He serves a lot. Now, what's bizarre about David Lyons is that, thank you. What's bizarre about Karen? You're supposed to you're my timekeeper. Where's Karen? What's great about David Lyons is he has the MS Fitness Challenge there. He and I both have parallel lives a lot of ways, even though I'm a year older than him, and I look 10 years. Sorry, David, if you're watching. Anyway, love David. But I read him in the guidepost, so he's a Christian there, and thank you. Oh, it's 11:37. Okay, Cynthia, you said 11:36. It was you know what, Karen? Let's give Cynthia some kudos in that she's helping us. She's helping us with the time check there. Because all right, now what was I talking about? This here is good for cognitive function there. So you know what? Thank you, Dennis. Again, you know what? In fact, what we can do, Dennis, is stream. You tell me if it's possible to get the Maryland pelvic floor expert on and on MS Live, simultaneous on MS TV. Abby, you haven't been here in ages there. Oh my gosh. Well, welcome. Abby lives in Georgia there. And Abby, you're on rituximab as well. So Abby, you need to come more often because when you're not here, we feel it. Oh my gosh, this is a very large crowd today. Gina's not here and Jane's not here. So, but Jane, you know what? I know we have 17 minutes. Jane will be here. There's a number of people that are regulars that are not here, and that bothers me. Yeah. All right. So to answer your question there, Tim, is that have we been to can you go to Vegas with a disability? Absolutely. In fact, Vegas is set up for disabled people. It is the friendliest disabled place to go there. So definitely. Do not fear about going to Vegas with MS. Problem is it's hot, so it's better to go to Vegas in the in the winter. And Mace, I have you down there as New Orleans. I know you personally. You are in New Orleans. Is that a Cajun name, by the way? We've got Mace over here. Is Mace a Cajun name? And Mace is on Facebook there. Uh, you know what? And this is what we're gonna have to do. Dennis talks about we can go live on his channel and my MS channel simultaneously. It's my MS channel, but this is MS Live, and I would like, yeah, I am not old enough to be called ma'am, so I love you dearly, Mace, but ma'am is what you call people with poodle perms. So, and I'll tell you what my husband will say. Anybody, I was wearing on Tuesday. Let me tell Mace this real quick. On Tuesday, I was wearing a tennis skirt. There, a tennis skirt with shorts underneath of it, and I didn't realize the camera on Facebook went up my tennis skirt, and it showed my shorts. They were not my panties. So I'm letting you know that even though you guys might have thought I was Sharon Stone and everyone, I wasn't. That was my shorts underneath of this tennis. It was a tennis skirt with tennis shorts. So I'm letting you know, Mace, because I know you were here last week there. Uh, uh, but you know what? Again, Tim, the shows in Vegas are fantastic. So, and that is good to, yeah, it's funny. If you can't laugh at yourself, right? Okay, oh, I broke it. I broke my hand because, oh, thank you. Abby's asking what happened to my hand. And you know, the walker, in fact, on Facebook, it shows the walker has the closed brakes, the closed handle brake. Well, I fell. And even though I physically work out so I can fall and not get hurt, I did not get hurt. Um, but my hand stayed in the walker brakes there, and it broke my hand. It broke it right there, that bone there. So it only hurts. I can bend my finger, but it hurts smashing it this way or touching it that way. And the reason why they put me in a cast is because it's not bad enough for surgery, but any bit of anything that pushes it this way could offset that joint to the point where they'd have to operate. So when I get up and I walk, I risk falling again. We all do. I'm a fall risk there, and I need to wear that because if I fall without this again, and I naturally reach my hand out there, it'll mess up that hand, and I'll need surgery. So and I don't need that there. Uh, uh, all right, they're talking about casinos again, Tim. Uh, all right. You know what? Again, if your leg packs up, and he's talking a little bit about going to Vegas with a bad leg or with a leg that doesn't operate the way you would like it to. They're again very user friendly, disabled friendly. In fact, I will say cruises and Vegas are the best places to go when you're disabled and you have an MS. Anyway, back to Wellness Coaching 101. Now they help you set goals, they hold you accountable, they focus on the present, they facilitate a behavior change. Uh, uh, you know what, Mace? We answered that question. Mace is asking again: is YouTube a subscription? And I answered that because Myra, I didn't answer it. Myra did, and I just was reading that. Myra talked about it is a subscription to watch things, but you can get on YouTube, subscribe to YouTube, and do it very generically. You do not have to give them personal information. They'll give you a generic name, and you can subscribe. I've got a lot of usernames there that uh, people let me know that this is their username, but their real name is in fact, Calvin needs to be here, and Calvin, and haven't seen Raymond in a while. In 2 weeks, haven't seen Raymond there, but he has a different, does not cost anything. It's free there, Mace. And what's great about YouTube, what is great is that if you need any videos to rehab, if you need any videos to fix something, if you need videos, I love YouTube. YouTube is the encyclopedia at your fingertips, and I prefer that there. Okay, now back to wellness coaching there. Um, Wellness coaches ask insightful questions to help you discover your own answer. And if 12 step, and I've had to really work on this, asking questions. When I go out in the world and I deal with people, I they say, "How are you doing?" And I don't like that very much because I know how I'm doing, and I don't want to talk about myself. But I ask questions. I deflect from me, and I ask them, "How are you doing?" And unfortunately, if you walk with a walker, if you have a broken hand, people may come and tell you how they're doing. They may tell you specifically everything. Uh, all right. Another thing a wellness coach does is they integrate physical, mental, emotional, and social health. What I do in order to do that is that um, I need everybody I know to separate that before you can integrate that. So once you realize that they're all separate entities, your physical health is a separate entity of you that can talk to your cognitive mental self. It can tell you, don't get up off the couch, don't get out of bed. But if you can separate it as being a separate entity, and your mental brain as being a separate entity, then you're more likely to to be able to work with that. There, again, and then emotional. If you recognize that your emotions are a state of how you're feeling and can be dictated and can change your attitude. Think about it as your attitude. It can change depending on whether you have carbohydrates in your body, whether you eat fruit, whether you slept well, whether you're in pain, whether you so if you look at that as a separate entity along with your physical and your mental, that helps. It helps. And again, your social health is it can't even be addressed until you get your physical, your mental, and your emotional health in check. And the only way that you can get that in check, and by the grace of God, I've been able to look at all all four of these things separate there. I'm Karen. I'm a wellness coach. That I give it for free. And Karen, take. You know what? If you ever take notes because I tell so many people take notes. I'm a big person uh, with a notebook there, and you want to take notes because I'd be a millionaire if I charged for what I gave away for free there. Because, but anyway, a wellness coach motivates you, teaches you how to separate those three things, And all you have to do, Karen, is go to my emotional videos web page. It's a playlist there, and it will and sit there with a piece of paper and a pencil and write down the suggestions there. That'll help you get your life in order there. Gail, a couple people who are watching this there, or what we're watching this, is that it all starts with a gratitude list, and that changes the way your mind is made up. Now, Karen, I know that you're a glass half full type of person anyway. So if there is a way on your list every day when you wake up, write down the things that you're thank you, Karen. You're grateful for. There, it's slowly. There's two ways to look at everything in life. Everything, even when you have MS, there's gosh, it sucks. Oh my gosh, it could be, but and it could be worse. It can always be worse, right? Isn't that what they say? But there's two ways to look at that. Instead of thinking, yeah, it could be worse, it could be worse. This sucks. Life sucks. If we get in the habit of thinking, yeah, it sucks. It could be worse. Oh well, hell no. Are you the birds are eating the chickens? The oh my gosh! I have been programmed to see God in everything in this storm, and because you program yourself into thinking instead of it could be worse. What is great about this situation? I remember I was in Hilton Head, South Carolina. I was walking out and I got stung on my good foot. My weak foot was bad. I got stung on my good foot by a stingray. I thought a shark had cut it off, right? And my husband had to pick me up because I said, Brian, a shark just took my foot, but it was shallow. He says that's impossible. I know the most painful thing is stingray venom because every bone in your leg feel or in your foot, wherever the venom hit, feels like it is collapsing. So he carried me out, laid me on the sand, and it was. I mean, it looked like something had happened there. And the lifeguard came running up, and so did the whole beach. And all I could do was laugh. Oh, it hurt so bad, but all I could do was laugh because you think when you think I wasn't thinking about the beautiful people because I was just consumed with pain. But I finally thought, well, what happens? Knee jerk reaction. What's the opposite? What to be grateful for? And I'm thinking, well, I'm grateful it wasn't a shark. But I started laughing. I was thinking it wasn't a shark. It couldn't be worse. It hurt so bad, and I was at a level 10, and I'm laughing, and two older women were sitting there with their gin and tonics, and they're looking at me, and they said, "Boy, you're certainly handling it well." And the lifeguard's looking at me strange, and he says, "I've never had anybody react like that, but I'm letting you know when you have MS, there each one of you has this special blessing and power to to tune into the ridiculous nature. I mean, being stung by a stingray on your good foot. And by the way, our plane to Maryland left in 2 hours, so it was really bad. How crazy insane it was and how painful it was. I need you to realize that there's two ways to look at it. Oh boy, we're gonna miss our flight. I was worried. I wasn't even thinking about the flight. I was thinking, yeah, just does anybody have a gun? Can anybody shoot me because this here is really painful and this will end my misery. Well, what happened, and I'll just tell you real quick because I know, Karen, I have a time check up here. My husband carried me, and a bus took me back to the hotel. Took us both. He carried me to the hotel, and a cute little girl from Holland who was the receptionist at this hotel said, "Oh my, what is going on with your life?" And he carried me to the room, and with stingray venom, if you get scalding hot water, it neutralizes the protein in the venom. Between then, because we people with MS carry around an emergency kit of medicines, I had the medicine to kill the pain there. Karen, you were so sweet. I've got a number of people who email me, and I've got some friends that said I should write a book. And Myra, you are so sweet. You guys are sweet, and I have to laugh. Just like we talk, and you guys are sweet. I may write a book for you, but I'm so focused on being interested in other people there that I couldn't even think. I've tried to write a book. I've tried, but I get embarrassed. I get, because you can't be humble. And I don't think I have anything more to say, or more valuable or more beautiful to spread than any of you. I'm so much more interested in you. This MS Live is your channel. It's not my channel. I'm only a host there. And if any of you want to be a ghostwriter, I can answer questions there. But I can't write a book. I can't do it. I can't do it. I just can't do it. I talk too much as it is, and I've talked about myself. There's too many funny stories I have, but if there's any writers watching, and you want to be my partner, you want to write a book, I'll answer questions, and we can make it happen there. But I cannot, and I love writing, but I can't do it. I can't do it. Love you all more there. And I don't know. I mean, life has taught me humility and vulnerability. May just talk about being vulnerable, and there's beauty in vulnerability. I live like the Cardinals, and the good book tells us, if we don't worry about our future. Somebody recently told me we'll be working, we'll never retire. We'll work till the day we die. And I got to tell you, how do you know? I live like the birds. I don't worry about tomorrow. I don't worry about today. I know God will provide seed, and I'm just going to keep eating and do what's next and live in the moment, like this wellness coach there. And the bottom of just to finish this, I know I'm 2 minutes over there. Uh, um, the wellness coach there motivates you. I'll give that to you for free, and listens to your hopes, needs, and desires. And we all can do that with each other there. And they're specific. When you have MS, they're very specific, and they're very different than people who don't. But if any of you on Facebook don't have MS there, if you don't have MS, and you need to be motivated, you need to know, you know what? I hate to say it there, but I needed something catastrophic in my life to take my career, take my marriage, to take so many things I loved there, to redirect me into what was important. Anyway, that brings us to an end of our Thursday episode. I will be here again on Monday. I love you all. Karen's talking about retiring. Oh my gosh, retiring at the end of this month there, Karen. You are too young. Oh no, I guess, Karen, you deserve to retire. So yeah, I retired early because of MS there. I love you all. Please subscribe. Go to msfrontiers.org. Look at the resources we have. Mace, look into joining YouTube so you can be part of this collective chat there, because you have a lot of beautiful things to say that would help. I've been talking on YouTube about what you're saying, and they've been giving you advice. So back and forth there. I love you. Please subscribe and keep coming back. God bless all of you. I pray for you, and you take care. All right, let me end stream. All right, finish. Good morning. Now I just brought